All right, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. If you're new to the channel, there's plenty more content where that came from. By all means, go check it out when you have time. If you dig it, smash that like button, smash that sub button, and ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of my content hits your screen. I'm trying to go live here, and now you're bothering me as I'm going live. What do you want? I can't wear this? What do you mean I can't wear this? LAX is cool. I'm trying to support LAX. I'm not cool enough to wear it? Really? That's just hurtful. Fine, I'll take it off. I still support LAX. Whatever you did, do the thing, the hand, the yo. Fine, put this over here. Welcome back, everyone. So this is going to cover this week's Impact Wrestling, along with covering some highlights from tonight's Rise of the Knockouts. I felt really bad for them. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about tonight's stuff first, and then we'll get into Impact Wrestling. Excuse me. So tonight was the debut of, Impact Wrestling does these combo shows with different independent. I left a dent. Jeez Louise. That's great. It's so cool. So cool. Impact Wrestling does these shows with different independent companies around the country. And Rise is supposed to now be their developmental for the Knockouts division, from what I've heard. Now, I just read part of something that looked a little disturbing. I'm not sure if the future of Rise is in jeopardy. I haven't read everything, but I haven't heard anything from Impact Wrestling as far as Rise is done or anything like that. As far as I know, they had the show tonight. They're doing tapings over the course of the next few days. So hopefully, there's no negative things in the future for them. Hopefully Rise can get the financial support from Impact and Anthem and help, thrive the Knockouts division and really, really bump them up. I mean, they're doing great. They really are doing great as far as, bringing in Su Yung, Taya, and I've mentioned it before, I've become a supporter of Allie. Rosemary was on the show tonight, but she wasn't in the ring. She was just at ringside. But yeah, let's talk about some highlights. Now, they had a lot of technical difficulties with this show, unfortunately. I think they missed looked like half the show or something. They missed a few matches. They also had some mishaps with injuries. Their champ, and I'm not super familiar with some of these girls, so just bear with me. Delilah Doom, I think is what it is. She's the champ. She got injured, and Shotzi Black, the number one contender, also was injured. They both have the same injury. So the champ had to forfeit her title, and another contender, I'm not sure exactly how it all went, so just bear with me. Mercedes Martinez had a shot at the championship, and it was supposed to be an Iron Woman match. So whoever she was supposed to face was completely up in the air. However it was planned, they had to completely revamp the show. So in that sense, they were scrambling to figure out exactly what they were doing. Some of the matches didn't get shown. Deonna Purrazzo was supposed to be on the show tonight. She wasn't part of, well, I'm not saying she wasn't there. I'm just saying as far as the Twitch tapings or Twitch show from Impact and Rise, we didn't see her. And I'm guessing it's because of her WWE contract. So either she was there and they couldn't show her, or she wasn't allowed to appear. Like, I know she could not appear for All In. And that's just a technical thing. Like, WWE usually lets you finish up your dates, but in this case, whenever she signed compared to however long they give the kids to finish up their dates, maybe it was too long, maybe it's because it was going to be televised. I don't know. I don't know why exactly, she couldn't appear on All In. But nonetheless, let's go over a few things that we did see. And I didn't catch all of this. I'm going to go back and watch most of it because I missed pieces here and there. And they said on Twitter recently before I went live that they were going to do their best to get the rest of the untelevised show up for viewing, which included, I believe, Tessa Blanchard versus, what's her name, Chris Wolf. I wanted to see that one. And so I didn't think we were going to see Tessa Blanchard again. But I was wrong. We'll get to that in a little bit. Oh, geez. There were some other... Madison Rayne was supposed to wrestle. Allie was supposed to wrestle. We didn't see them on the show. And there was one or two others. But nonetheless, what we did see was very entertaining. We saw Kimberly versus Shazza McKenzie. I have not seen Kimberly since her days in NXT, which was fairly recently. But I don't know if they gave up on her. Yeah, I didn't hear why they let her go from NXT, but she was one of the, I'd say, better up and comers that they had on their female roster down at NXT. So I was excited to hear that she was going to be a part of this Rise show. So to see her again, and I know Shazza McKenzie has been, I can't remember if they featured her on NXT or where I saw her. I can't remember. But anyways, Kimberly went over Shazza McKenzie. Great opening match. Well, I say opening match because this is the first match I saw of this event. I know there was other stuff that I missed, and hopefully they'll put the whole show on in its completion or something soon, within the next week or whatever. They can edit it all together and put it out there and show it. Now for the Impact Knockouts Championship, Su Yung, one of my favorite knockouts in Impact Wrestling. Since her debut, she's between her in-ring stuff and her presence is just phenomenal. And there's not a lot of things out there that compare to it. I'm not saying she's the best, but from what I've seen so far, she's killing it. She's really doing a great job. I am impressed with her. Now, she was facing a woman you could call, I'd say, excuse me, I'd put her in a legend status because she's been around for a long time. And she's got a famous name, Saraya Knight. And if you're not familiar with her, it's the mother of Paige. It's like as soon as you look at her, you're like, oh yeah, she looks like an older Paige. And I've really never seen Saraya Knight wrestle before. I've seen bits and pieces of matches, but this is the first time I saw her like in a full match. And this was just sick. This was like most of this was done outside the ring. It was false. I think it was false count anywhere. And it didn't take long for it to go outside the ring. Saraya Knight just threw Su Yung all over the place, choked her with a rope, dragged her upstairs. I mean, this almost had like an ECW feel to it. Dragged her up some stairs to like above a storage unit or something, threw her off, rope wrapped around her, like trying to hang her. It was like one of the craziest things I've ever seen before. The crowd was going nuts. A handful of guys caught Su Yung, unwrapped her, and unwrapped the rope from around her neck, and then Saraya like dove on top of them. And then Su Yung, I forget what the finisher was, but the whole thing was just crazy. Su Yung ended up retaining her championship. She didn't put in a ton of offense, but it was crazy. They were both bleeding by the end of it. In fact, the pictures online of Saraya Knight's face at the end, her face completely covered in blood. It was like, oh my God. It's one thing you don't see a lot in wrestling today is women completely just crimson mask, like old school Ric Flair crimson mask, you know? You just don't see it much. But this woman is old school, so it really shouldn't surprise me. She's pretty hardcore. Now, this next match was just cuckoo. Absolutely cuckoo. It was a fatal four-way elimination tag team match for the Rise. I know I'm screwing up the title of this. The tag team championship for Rise. They called it something else. The Phoenix Rises champion something. But anyways, the tag team championship. Forgive me for not remembering the name of it. They gave a special name for the actual Rise Women's Championship too. Something with a Phoenix or something. The four teams, I didn't catch all the girls' names because, like I said, the action was just ridiculous. And I missed bits and pieces, but there was Kylie Ray and Miranda. There was Blue Nation. Now, this was a team that I was looking forward to because I heard a lot about, and I've seen them tag together once or twice before. Fire and Nice, which is Chelsea Green, formerly of Impact, and Britt Baker. She's, if you're not familiar with her, that's Adam Cole's woman, from what I've heard. Girlfriend, fiance, not sure how serious they are, but they're together nonetheless. And then the last of the four teams is Paradise Lost, including Dust and Raven's Ash. Raven's Ash is a very tall girl, very big, tall girl. And she looked familiar, and it took me a minute. I thought at first it was Jessica Havoc. It wasn't Jessica Havoc, although I think I heard that she was supposed to be part of the show or part of the tapings over the next few days, I think. And I was doing a little research, so I missed part of the match. But this girl is from the Chicago area, Raven's Ash. It's Melanie Cruz. I met her a handful of years ago at a Global Force Wrestling show. She wrestled Santana Garrett. Now, I thought she was done wrestling. I hadn't heard anything about her. I thought she went and had a kid and was retired. I guess I was wrong because she was on the show and she was just destroying everyone. It's crazy. So, Paradise Lost with Rosemary at ringside are the new Rise tag team champions. So yeah, crazy match, a lot of fun. Oh, another highlight from the match was when Chelsea Green and Britt Baker, tag team partners, were in the ring. Britt Baker turned on Chelsea and gave her like a super kick, and then just left the ring. And that was how one of the other teams came in and then pinned Chelsea Green after that, which eliminated him from the match. So it's very interesting that this team that was actually gaining popularity on the indies is now broken up. So formation of a new rivalry for Rise. Interesting. And then we had what was, I thought I heard that the main event was supposed to be Deonna Purrazzo versus someone. I read it. I don't remember what it was. But what we got for the main event for this show, maybe, like I said, because maybe they couldn't show Deonna Purrazzo, we got the Rise Championship. So no matter who was going to be in this, we were going to get a new champion because Doom had to forfeit her championship because she was injured, like I said earlier. So Mercedes Martinez is in the ring, wondering who her opponent is going to be for this Iron Man. It's not an Iron Man match. It's Iron Woman's match. 30-minute. And Tessa Blanchard comes out, tells her that she signed the contract, and these two just went to war. It was an incredible women's match. I have not seen Mercedes Martinez wrestle since the Mae Young Classic on the WWE Network. Oh my God, what is that? Almost 2 years ago now? Last year? 2 years ago? I forget. Within the last 2 years. And so I've been kind of, kind of keeping an eye out for her, thinking maybe she would be one of the veterans of the women's indie scene that would be signed by WWE. Obviously, that has not happened. She's on an Impact show. That doesn't mean she's signed, but I think there's some potential there. She is definitely one of the women here on this show that I would love to see signed by Impact Wrestling, along with the team of Paradise Lost, run by Rosemary. I think those two could really do some damage on the knockout scene. And there's a handful of others that I saw on here. I would love to see Kimberly signed by Impact Wrestling. Or now I know Chelsea Green just did a tryout for WWE. I haven't heard anything past that. I know details, and I haven't heard anything from Chelsea online if she said anything about him. Usually they keep that stuff pretty hush-hush. But obviously they're probably going to keep an eye on Britt Baker too, I would think, because that's Adam Cole's woman, and Adam Cole is one of the big up-and-comers down in NXT. So who knows? I mean, you never know who WWE is interested. You never know who Impact is interested in. But the Knockouts division, I would love to see him grow it a little more. Add a handful more of newer indie women, veterans, or up-and-comers, like Kiera Hogan, So, but yeah, this match between Tessa Blanchard and Mercedes Martinez was incredible. Tessa Blanchard being your new Women's Rise champion. And yeah, if you have not watched it, seriously, go give it a watch and keep an eye out for when they actually put like the complete show out there. And if and when they do put the whole thing out there and get rid of all the bugs and technical difficulties or whatever their issues were, when they do put it out there, I'll try to share it and or do a review of the complete show possibly in the near future. We'll see how long it takes them to do that. So we'll see. Now, for this week's Impact Wrestling, I did not write any notes on it, so I am just going to refer to the Impact site. And no, I'm not just reading results. I did watch it, but I just want to make sure I don't miss anything because, like I said, I didn't take any notes. Starting out with the Phoenix versus Rich Swann match. Oh, my goodness. This was absolutely, this was one that it totally was a follow this match, and anyone following it obviously had a big challenge up against them. And how this ended was, you know what? I didn't even write down who won it. And this is just going to make me look ridiculous. But anyways, whatever. Phoenix connected with a modified muscle buster into a sit-down power bomb for the win. Yes. Okay, so Phoenix won the match. That's right. And then OVE comes out and attacks Rich Swann and Phoenix. And the crowd is going nuts. And what looks like Pentagon Jr., if you're not looking carefully at him, it looks like Pentagon Jr. comes to the rescue, helps Phoenix up, and he does his classic, Cero, Biero, and then, kicks him in the balls and proceeds to, we don't want to, he takes off his own mask, revealing that it's Sami Callihan, which is just, wow. It's this entire segment was priceless. I loved how it happened. And then the real Pentagon comes out and saves the day, runs him off. And this is going to lead to next week, Callihan and OVE versus Swann, Phoenix, and Pentagon. That 3-on-3 is, I can't wait to see that. That is just going to be ridiculous. That's going to be one that you're just going to be completely exhausted after watching it. We then have the debut of one of my favorite up-and-coming guys, someone brand new to the roster who also has a brand new shirt on Shop Impact. I saw snazzy looking shirt. I love it. No, snazzy. Who says that? No. Wow, I'm really dating myself there. What in the blue hell is snazzy? It means it's like really cool for old people talk. In fact, if he heard me say that, Killer Cross would probably come to my door and choke me out, like he did to Falaba and KM. Quick match, but still significant in the debut of Killer Cross. So I'm not going to knock it. I wouldn't think of, saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying. The most impressive part of this match, with the back and forth going between Falaba and Killer Cross, was, okay, Falaba's a big boy. He's 400 plus, whatever he is, pounds, they're saying. Cross Saito suplexes him. He Saito suplexes Falaba, someone who is 400 pounds. I can't even imagine picking up my chair and throwing it over my shoulder, okay? I just, That's insane. It just shows you how fit and how powerful and how wired. I don't know what else to say about Killer Cross other than just that move in itself, besides choking them out at the end, was wow. It's just crazy. Just crazy. So, good debut from Killer Cross. The music, the lights, the spectacle, the trench coat, the classic glasses. I say classic because he's been wearing these glasses for a while now. He's had this look for a while. I love it. It's badass. I can't wait to see what else he's going to do to the roster of Impact Wrestling. And I hope it's just a slow burn. You know, I can't imagine they're going to throw a championship on him right away. I would imagine maybe, like I said, my fantasy thing that I've said before a year ago, tie him with Johnny Impact and Taya like they did down in AAA and have them just completely take over Impact Wrestling. Full-blown heel and just run roughshod over everyone. That's what I would do. But they may keep him by himself. And that would be very interesting too. Because everywhere I've seen him besides what was that, FSW in Vegas, he's been with someone else. He's part of Mad down in AAA. He's part of Lucha Underground. We haven't seen him yet on TV, but I know he's part of season 4. He's in the trailer. Something with the Rabbit Tribe, something. So yeah, I don't know what they've got in store for him, but I can't wait to see where this goes. So yeah, he chokes out Falaba. KM tries to come to his rescue and chokes him out too. So, and then P, I almost forgot here. I'm looking at the highlights. See, this is why I'm looking at the highlights, or some of the highlights on the website, because I knew I was going to forget something, because I didn't write any notes down, because I'm having an off week here, folks. I'm just trying to get by here. Petey Williams comes to the rescue, which is laughable, but he comes in there with a chair, hits Cross a few times, and then finally smacks him in the face with it, which knocks him out of the ring. Or in the head, however, just boom, knocks him out of the ring, which stops him for now. And Cross is like, all right, you're next, kind of Goldberg-ish, gives him that look like, all right, I'll kill you soon, So I imagine it's going to set up Petey Williams versus Cross for Slammiversary in a couple of weeks, which I wish there was more of a build-up, but that's okay. I'm good with it. I'm okay with it. It is what it is. I'm not like upset about it, but the build-up of Cross's character has been unlike anyone we've seen anywhere for years. So in that sense, it's incredible. So I'll say that. Gama Singh is slapping his boys around. Man, they're going to turn on him sooner than later. We got a new knockout coming to the division soon. I've heard some very interesting opinions as to who it may be. I've heard Eve. I've heard Eva Marie. I don't think any of those are right. I heard the name. What's her name? Scarlett Bordeaux. And if I screwed up that name, I apologize. Someone up and coming from the independent scene for women. And I'm not really familiar with her stuff, but looks like we're going to see her showing up soon. I'm guessing maybe she'll debut at Slammiversary. Maybe? Guess. Complete guess. But the promo that's on there looks almost similar to James Bond. The classic James Bond where the woman is, all you see is a silhouette dancing. Similar to that. If you're not familiar with classic Bond movies, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. But that's the closest thing off the top of my head, really. Classic Bond girl silhouette dancing thing. Okay. I did not watch the Su Yung with the bridesmaids against Allie and Madison Rayne. So I'm not going to really say anything about it. Other than I saw a highlight where Tessa came down and interfered, but it looked like Allie and Madison Rayne still won. So there you go. But you know, it's all building up to Madison Rayne versus Su Yung at Slammiversary in a couple weeks. So still excited about that. Some promos from OVE against Pentagon, Phoenix, and Swan, and then stuff with Conan's thing coming up. I like the promo with Austin Aries. Gave a little, brief history, some flashbacks, some early looks at Austin Aries. I'm getting more excited for Austin Aries versus Moose. I really wasn't. I'm not hating on Moose. I don't know. I guess I just haven't seen him do enough in Impact Wrestling to really build up a babyface following. And that's me. If you think otherwise, by all means, leave it in the comments. Let me know what you feel about Moose. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'm not going to tell you you're wrong if you think otherwise. I'm just not sure if I see it. Maybe we got to see how the last few weeks before Slammiversary plays out to really psych the feud up, for lack of better words. I like the promos, the look back at Moose's football career and how he dreamed of being a wrestler. Austin Aries, obviously one of Milwaukee's finest. I've always been behind him for as long as I've known about him, back in the early days of TNA, and then becoming world champ was huge. I thought that was incredible. I compared him a lot to CM Punk. I felt okay, WWE had CM Punk at the top. Impact Wrestling had Austin Aries at the top, And I felt at that time, it couldn't get any better, That was until the Shield showed up and just flipped the whole company on its head. But I'm still a Dean Ambrose fan. What can I say? So I can't wait for him to come back. In the meantime, I'm just taking a sabbatical from WWE stuff. Especially after, the highlight of the show last Monday was them, tossing blue Smurf shit around. That was just all more reason for me not to go back and watch WWE stuff. I'm like, this is how you're building up to Extreme Rules, as you're dumping porta potties off of stages. That just shows me where the quality of your show is going. Completely in the shitter. Oh, oh, and I swear, if I see one more gif of the Undertaker live tonight at Madison Square Garden, dear God. Anyways, let's see here. Conan's on the phone with someone talking about exposing King. We had a promo with Tommy Dreamer backstage after he got attacked from Eddie Edwards. He's completely full of blood. He's messed up. He's pissed. Interesting little match between Katrina and Rebel. Katrina coming out with a win of that one that I saw. And Grado by her side. He's hamming it up. And then we get the introduction of, now, you're going to have to forgive me here. I'm not real familiar with him because I don't know a lot of British wrestling, but it's on my to-do list to check out a lot more. With the return of, what is it called? WOS Wrestling? World of Sports Wrestling from the UK. A lot of my favorites in there, you know, that I've come to grow to love over the last handful of years, I'd say. Will Ospreay is in there, and Grado's in there. Some great UK independent women are in there as well. I think Viper's going to be in there. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think Viper's going to be in there, and I love Viper. Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry, and I'm not sure which company he wrestled with more in the UK, if it was Progress or ICW, I'm not real sure. But I've heard of him, but I've not seen a lot of his stuff. Joe Hendry is joining Impact Wrestling. And apparently, from what I saw, I was checking out Twitter a couple times today. Excuse me. Damn, I was up early this morning. We'll wrap this up soon. I apologize. I'm tired. What was I going to say? Oh, Joe Hendry. How many more beers is he going to have tonight? No, not many. He's going to have his own Impact Twitch show, apparently, where he does Q&As. I didn't see all the details. I saw like a quick glimpse of something on Twitter earlier. So, you know, it's more original content that they're going to put on Twitch, which I think is cool. And it'll introduce the world more to Joe Hendry. But he's apparently tied with Katrina and Grado. I have, if I'm predicting something here, because apparently Hendry knows. I'm sorry. Did I say Katrina? I was saying Katrina, wasn't I? Katarina. It's different. I'm sorry. And I'm tired. Katrina's with Lucha. I watch Lucha. I love Lucha. I love Katrina. That's why I screwed it up. Katarina's not bad either. I have a feeling it's going to be a thing where Hendry is actually going to steal Katarina from Grado. I'm just thinking about Grado's luck with women, and that's what makes sense in my head. I can see that coming a mile away. And if it is, I think it's hilarious. I like it. Oh, what else here? Oh, this one. This was just sick. This was the headlining match, and then there was stuff with LAX. Congo Kong with Jimmy Jacobs versus Brian Cage. Oh, my goodness. These two guys killed it. I can't tell you what was better, Phoenix versus Swan or these two guys, because these two guys were running around like a couple of flipping luchadors. Kong and Cage, I'll admit, as much as I love Cage, and I'm becoming a fan of Kong, I wasn't that excited about this match until I watched the match. these two moved around like lightning. Cage doing a tope over the top rope on the Kong was just, like I've heard it said a million times. Guys, Cage's size are not supposed to do this kind of stuff. And don't take that as a complaint. Just people are saying, like, that's supposed to be like guys half his size are doing moves like that. What is he doing moves like that? That's why Cage fits in the X division. He runs around like a luchador, but he's strong as a freaking bull. Tough as an ox. Smarter than one, though. Because, you know, the classic follow-up to that, the smart as one, too. No, I wouldn't dare say that about Cage. Oh, my God. That'd be like slitting your wrist. I'm not that stupid. Hell no. Wouldn't dare say that about Cage. This match was incredible. Just the athleticism of these two big guys in the ring. Go watch the match if you have not seen the match. Seriously. Do not miss next week. Yes, I know. Now, what happened at the end of the show with the LAX versus the old school. Okay, now this is all right. Should I put it back on for this? You know how I had it on in the beginning of the. No, don't put it back on. Okay, I won't. It was kind of cool though, but a little cool. We'll keep it as a little cool. Don't put it on again. Okay. Vote now. Should J-Bone wear the LAX? No, I'm kidding. I try to keep it light. What are you going to do? King getting in the face of Conan getting in the face of King. And I was really curious, like, okay, I knew who was going to show up. I talked about it a few weeks ago. I shouldn't have, but I did because it's out there. And I was excited to see how it was going to happen because I really didn't know who was going to show up and help who until I saw it play out in front of me. I knew Homicide and Hernandez were going to show up. But what I didn't know is with Conan coming back, was he going to come back with the original LAX and have the 2018 LAX of Santana and Ortiz stay with King and be heels? You know, I didn't know which way it was going to go. But it makes sense. I like how they did. No matter how they did it, I'm excited because it's like old school versus new school. Old school LAX, Hernandez versus Homicide. And if you don't know, years ago, that's the original LAX, Hernandez and Homicide. And they were great. Super mechs. So awesome to see those two back together. I have a feeling they're not going to be around very long. I could be wrong. Who knows? But I'm digging it. So Conan's getting in King's face. And I love how dirty and gritty this segment was. I mean, this was completely... They shouldn't have censored it. You know, if they put it on later, they didn't have to censor it, but they had to censor it because Conan's just old school, nasty, talking to him. Hey, I'm checking out my chats. Heads Network is in the. I have a request to put it back on. Put it back on. All right, now I gotta bring up the screen here. There we go. I turn it. There. How's that? All right. Now I'm. How's no? That's no. Uh, Pass the. Oh man, no, I'm too old for the blunt. No, actually, I'm not too old. I just the health isn't good enough for smoking blunts. So, thanks for joining me, heads. No, sincerely, thank you. I like to have fun on here. Try to keep it, like I said, try to keep it light. Um, I love the segment. Conan was just chewing his ass to pieces, and he's like, "And you messed up. You didn't finish the job." And King was like, "Oh, I didn't." And that's when Homicide and um, Hernandez show up and clobber all three of them. I loved it. And it was a great finish to the show. I've been waiting weeks for this. I knew it was coming. I didn't want to talk too much about it. I gave it away on one of my Impact things a few weeks ago, but I didn't want to go on and on and on about it because I don't like giving away spoilers. I know they're always out there for the tapings, and the only reason why I knew about this is because Andre Corbeil shared it. I know he's a big fan of Hernandez, Big Mex. Super. No, it's not Super Mexi. No, that's not a thing. You're thinking of Big Sexy. Yeah, Kevin, Big Kev is just shut up. Can I just finish this? I'm tired. All right. Oh, let's see. Heads is just blowing up my chat. The visual of Kingston choking Conan with the flag was gold. Yeah, a lot of flags. They put what looked like a different LAX T-shirt. I'm guessing that was like an older LAX T-shirt. Laid that out on one of the guys. The whole segment was great. It was great to see the old school and the new school. King, Homicide, and Supermax are going to open up next week's show, it looks like. And obviously, this is building up towards a big Slammiversary match. And this is, I got to admit, I'm a little torn. I'm a little torn on who to root for here. I know Kingston is the heel, and Homicide and Supermax are the heel. But man, I like original LAX. Don't get me wrong. I love Santana Ortiz. Those two have been redefining the tag division over the last couple of year to 2 years, whatever it's been. Excuse me, in Impact Wrestling. They're killing it. And they've been tag champs a couple times now, whatever, 2 or 3 times, whatever it's been. And they've been doing great. But I love old school Homicide. And I love Hernandez. Hernandez just showed up in Lucha Underground. Talk about never say never. There was a lot of bad blood because there was some contract stuff, and he showed up. He showed up here, wasn't supposed to show up there, however it was. And then he ended up losing his job in both places. Crazy. We got Daryl in the chat says, OG LAX is going to destroy the new LAX. Dope fucking storyline. Yeah, it is. It's dope. I like it. It's old school versus new school is always cool. I like it. So yeah, and if you're watching this after the fact, you can catch the whole thing when I'm done over on rantwithant.com. That's going to pretty much wrap up this one. Oh, one more thing here. Head says, do you think OJ, not OGA, do you think OG LAX will stick around or just pass the torch quick and bounce? or pass the blunt, if you will. I don't know. I like him. Homicide has been around through most of this with Santana and Ortiz, but he hasn't done a lot of in-ring stuff. And I've talked about this before. I don't know if he's injured or they're like, he's like, you can't afford me, so I'm not going to do that much, but I'll be on TV for you guys. I don't know what the deal is. I can't even imagine what's going on with Homicide, or is he near retirement, so he's not doing that much? I don't have a clue. And Hernandez is still in tremendous shape. He looks great out there. He's still big. Okay, yeah, you can say it. Big Mexi. Okay. That sounds so stupid. Why do I keep you around? Seriously. Unreal. So, all right. So, cheers. Welcome back, LAX. And I can't wait to see where this goes. Keep an eye out for the Impact Knockouts Rise show. Yeah, I mean, if you can't wait, go. Did you speak on the Edwards streamer story? Just real briefly, just because he did that promo with Dreamer. Dreamer's promo was priceless. After he got his butt kicked, he's all bloody and everything. After he got his got attacked by Eddie Edwards, and I love it. I love it. Apparently, those two are going to face each other at Slammiversary. I didn't hear what kind of match it was. You know what? Let's quick look, because I think they announced it. I just don't remember it. Let's go quickly to news and see if we can find it. Here we go. Oh, shnikes. House of Hardcore rules match at Slammiversary. Tommy versus Eddie. Yes. Yes. Oh, and because, oh my God, see, I'm just brain farting here, totally. Because Cage won his match with Congo Kong, he gets the X Division Championship match at Slammiversary with Seidel. I completely spaced out on that. I apologize. I'm usually a lot more on the ball on that kind of stuff. I'm sorry. But yeah. So yeah, they are really setting up Slammiversary. I am psyched for this. And apparently D'Angelo Williams is returning to Impact Wrestling. Now, he had a great match a year ago. I'm going to have to watch it again. I remember I was impressed. Daryl, such a potty mouth. No, I'm just kidding. Your comment was held for review. So, all right. But yeah, that's it for this one. We'll wrap it up. Sorry I wasn't quite as on my game for this one. It's been a crazy few days. I've been up since 5 this morning. I'm exhausted. I didn't take any notes, so like I said, I'm just kind of winging it, letting you know what I saw and trying to remember it. I'm usually a lot better organized than this. But thank you for tuning in, whoever did. Much love. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And like I said, if you didn't catch all this, you can catch it after the fact on rantwithant.com, where I do my Impact Wrestling reviews. And Ant's building a whole new team of guys over there, bringing in new podcasts. In fact, Ant just started reviewing Lucha Underground, which I do Lucha Underground for wrestlingwithwrestling.com. It's a different site. So I'm kind of all over the place. You know, I got my channel. I put my videos for Lucha on House of Hardcore on wrestlingwithwrestling.com over here, and I put my Impact Wrestling reviews on rantwithant.com. So I got two families that I'm, switching back and forth. It's kind of like having two girlfriends, trying to keep them both happy. And if you've ever done that before, you know how hard that is. As I choke through my last part of my beer here. So yeah, have a great rest of your weekend, folks. Can't wait to see how the rest of this goes for the rest of the road to Slammiversary, where we got 2 episodes left. 2 episodes left, I believe. So thanks again for watching. Smash that like button, smash that sub, and ring that bell for notifications so let you know when more of my content hits your screen. Good night, folks. I am going to go. Let's see. It's almost 11:30. I'll probably fall asleep watching some G1. I've been hearing things all over YouTube about highlights and trying to ignore most of it. Most of it's been Undertaker gifs. I swear to God, if I see one more Undertaker gif.